Hey, what's going on, folks out there on internet land? Welcome to the video. My name is Brian Dolnick, and you're searching for how to start a cabin rental business. It's an awesome search, and when it comes to this, I'm going to share with you not just the process of this and the business model, things you have to know really about the business model. I'm also going to share with you how to create and how to start a lucrative business. I'm going to share with you some things that I picked up along the way over the last 3 years, having started a couple different types of businesses, some things that worked, some things that didn't work. The things that did work, it was your typical maintenance associated with it, your traditional overhead with supplies, equipment, employees, and with a cabin rental business, alright, just like a vacation rental business, any type of rental business, you're looking at your overhead factor, and you got to keep this into account when looking at it from a business opportunity and a business perspective and how you make money from the business. So you got to look at your investment factor. You're looking at a cabin, so you're looking at a huge chunk investment, and you got to ask yourself, alright, is this a seasonal cabin? Is it a year-round cabin? Regardless of if it's seasonal, if it's year-round, you got to keep in mind, even if you have someone there, for the sake of this video and this example, if you have someone there year-round, 12 months out of the year, alright, you got to keep in mind, you're only going to be making so much from that one individual. So you're limited to one person and the amount of money that you can make. You're limited to one person because you have one cabin, alright? Alright, so it's very limiting when it comes to that. And then you got to keep in mind, out of the money that you can make from that one person whenever someone's staying at that cabin, alright, it's got to not just cover your overhead associated with maintaining the cabin on a monthly basis, what the cabin expenses are going to be on a monthly basis, but it's also got to be able to pay off that overhead, your initial investment to actually have and own the cabin. And not just that, it's got to cover all that and also be able to pay yourself. And I've seen a lot of people do this, start their own cabin rental properties and businesses, and having seen them take 10, 15, 20, sometimes even 30 plus years to finally turn a profit where they're making an income, alright? It's crazy. And I would advise you, before you strap that ball and change your leg, the waiting game, not to say it's a bad business model. It's great if you have the money and it's just an investment to increase your income. But it's a very long-term process, and I would advise you, before you consider a cabin rental business, if you hear me out here for just a minute and you're looking at this because you want to start a lucrative business that works for you, not against you, you want to create a business that creates time, freedom, and leverage, if that's really what you're looking for out of a business, if that's really your reason kind of why, then I've got a lead I want to throw your way here before you consider a cabin rental business. And my experience with this goes back over the last year. When I took myself from a traditional brick and mortar business to an online business, came across an individual who was building a business on the internet, and they didn't have any crazy overhead. They didn't have to go get a loan or finance from the bank. They didn't have to spend tens of hundreds of thousands of dollars to start. And because they didn't have that crazy overhead, they weren't doing anything technical, working right from their laptop. And the cool part was they were operating and building a business while traveling, okay? So they're building an income in business literally anywhere where there's like a Wi-Fi connection from their laptop. And it was attractive to me, so I reached out to this person because they were living the kind of lifestyle I wanted to live without time and money being an issue, and started to reach out to them, model and copy what they did with their permission. I want to emphasize that. And in a period of about a couple weeks, about 30 days total around that, I was able to create a full-time income business working part-time on the internet. That is not average, that's not typical. I decided not to be average, I decided not to be typical, but I am assuming, because it's about 4 minutes into this video, that you are not either. And if you want to build a business because you want time, freedom, leverage, and true flexibility, the best tip I would give you before you consider a cabin, rental business, is to seriously look into starting an online business model, alright? I would advise you not to go get a loan and finance to start a cabin. I wouldn't advise you to do that at all if you don't have the budget set aside. If you want to create a lucrative, passive, flexible business model, the internet is the best model, most profitable model that you could tackle, that you could take on, alright, and you could learn how to utilize. And when you have the right guidance and the right help, which is really the key to making it all stick together like glue, you can create a very lucrative business on the internet in a very short period of time. That's not to say there's no work required. I'm not saying that. You have to put in work, you have to learn things like I did, alright, but the cool part was I didn't have to have tens of thousands of dollars or resources to go invest hundreds of thousands of dollars to get it going. Alright, so I hope that makes sense. It's just a little bit of a perspective and an overview when it comes to building a business and having a life in general to help you get the results that you want, instead of building a business and being a slave to it like so many entrepreneurs and small business owners do. So I hope this really helps you out. I hope this kind of shines the light bulb on and off in your mind, and I look forward to seeing your success story. I look forward to seeing you and connecting with you further. And if you are following me here and you want to learn more about how to build a lucrative business on the internet, if you want to learn exactly what was shown to me and shared with me from a person building a business, high multiple six-figure income business, high almost seven-figure income business on the internet going back 13 months ago, that's allowed me throughout this whole period of time to create a full-time income business working part-time, make sure to check out my site, and I'll put a link down below. It's 123marketingtips.com. But aside from that, I will see you on the next one and on the beach to the world. Take care.